Thank you so much, Director General NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Adol-Peterside. Please, once again, let's appreciate him. He has reminded us that Africa will be much better after this conference. And so we're not in for fun, we're in to have wonderful time of deliberations and making strong decisions. We appreciate you, DG NIMASA. And NIMASA, of course, is working very closely with the host ministry. And right now we'll hear from the host minister to give his remarks. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome together the Honorable Minister for Transportation in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Right Honorable, His Excellency, the Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amaechi. Please welcome him together.
What this reminds me is that age has come. I'm sure that's why I'm wearing the glasses. Your Excellency, the President, represented by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Senate President, represented by my friend, Senator Ibn Allah, our own dear distinguished, the Right Honorable the Speaker, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chairman of the Minister of Niger Delta, NDDC. No, not NDDC, Minister of Niger Delta. And then the Chairman of the NIMASA Committee, all other distinguished senators, the reps from IMO, the PAMSEC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, including the visiting delegation. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the third Conference of Association of African Maritime Administration, organized in conjunction with the International Maritime Organization. We have today assembled the African maritime brain and brawn who can calm the turbulence of the oceans for the benefit of the continent. No doubt you have come here inspired by a common purpose, the future of our common maritime heritage. Nigeria is genuinely flattered by and grateful for your presence. The African Maritime Transport Charter inspired the formation of AAMA and encourages information sharing, interagency, sub-regional cooperation, and approach to planning, implementation, and maritime regulation on the principle of inclusiveness and collaboration. By hosting the third conference of the association after Kenya and South Africa hosted in 2012 and 2013, respectively, Nigeria wishes to restate its commitment to continually contribute to the growth of the maritime sector on the continent of Africa and globally. The conference is not merely to praise the maritime sector of Africa, but to tackle the maritime problems being encountered in the continent. It is regrettable that despite Africa's enormous maritime endowment, we remain susceptible to a raft of challenges. These include insignificant share of cargo, low tonnage, piracy, sea robbery, undeclared and unregulated fishing, and environmental degradation. Worse still, there is no African-flagged vessels taking cargoes, and our waterways still wallow in servitude. The African human capacity is greatly underdeveloped, leaving us to rely on foreigners to drive our industry. There is also near total absence of trained Coast Guard to monitor our maritime domain. It is therefore time not only to declare our independence, but to show it. I believe this conference will address how to strengthen maritime administration, cooperation at the continental level to tackle these challenges from capacity building, regulatory and enforcement perspectives. The importance of maritime trade and the blue economy to the economies of Africa cannot be overemphasized. Africa, with its vast expanse of arable land and mineral resources, depends on import and export trade for economic survival. What we need is a coordinated approach so that Africa can benefit optimally from shipping and the blue economy. As maritime administrators and regulators, you are best suited to champion this new era. Nigeria has stepped up efforts to make the country a deserved maritime hub by embarking on comprehensive port reforms. subjecting our maritime administration to the mandatory IMSAS audit, digitalizing all our processes in this sector, upgrading our port infrastructure, and linking it to the rail network. Nigeria has a robust maritime domain awareness satellite surveillance system in place and is facilitating the floating of a Nigerian national fleet so as to get our fair share of cargoes generated in Africa. The government has recently approved a new maritime security infrastructure initiative to tackle piracy and sea robbery on our waterways. In addition to the above, government has taken further steps to facilitate shipping activities and trade, which includes, amongst others, establishment of a dedicated fund, the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, to encourage and enhance the capacity of our indigenous ship owners to acquire and participate in domestic and international shipping trade. Implementation of Marine Pollution Convention to address environmental challenges, raising the standard of Nigerian seafarers to be competitive at international level, deliberate efforts to increase availability of cargo to the indigenous carriers through cargo support policy, efforts to reduce the rate of piracy and sea robbery attack in the Gulf of Guinea, establishment of channel management companies to deepen the port harbors and channels to allow bigger vessels call at our ports free of any navigational hazard through dredging and wreck removals. Furthermore, Nigeria has so far ratified 35 IMO conventions, gazetted 34 maritime regulations pursuant to the Nigerian Merchant Shipping Act 2007. Several other maritime conventions are at different stages of being either domesticated or ratified. Nigeria is a signatory to the Yaoundé Code of Conduct and has adopted the AIM 2050 strategy and the Charter on Maritime Security, Safety and Development, the Lome Charter. We are committed to the enforcement of all international conventions to which we are party. Nigeria has attained 80% compliance with ISPS code implementation and is strategically positioned to play a pivotal role in International Maritime Organization to protect the interests of Africans and African maritime community, considering her role as a major shipping destination within the continent. It is on that note that we enjoin all to support the interests of Nigeria to contest the IMO Category C election to give our continent a respectable voice in the Council. The challenges facing African maritime domain are well known, and the potentials of blue economy are enormous. What is required to move Africa forward is a concerted and cooperative spirit amongst Africans. That is why it is imperative that maritime administrators and regulators conference of this nature becomes regular to forge the needed partnership. We cannot allow our international partners to set agenda and champion our maritime cause for us. Africa's seas should contribute to economic and environmental security and improve policies for ocean governance. We own our waters and our resources, so we must lead the way and outline our vision. Nigeria is ever ready to work with our brothers, sisters, and partners to deepen this cooperation. It is our expectation that this conference will address how to redeem our pride from our policy, retrieve insecurity from our restive waters, fish out profit from our seas, and sail unwavering to our goals. We own the key to Quays, and we should show it. We have to rebrand our continent as an emerging power. This conference should significantly increase Africa's stake in global seaborne trade and emerging blue economy through responsible maritime governance. On this note, let me thank you and wish all of you a faithful deliberations. Thank you very much.
About 6 weeks ago, this man that just stepped down from the podium and his brother, the Honorable Minister of State for Aviation, on behalf of the federal government, told us that on the 19th of April, flights will land in Abuja.